Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Unplugged live session. I'm just waiting for my colleagues to join me, and we're going to start in a minute. Okay, we have Sergio ready.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sergio. How are you?
Everything's fine. Short tour that ended up turning into something a little bit longer, but definitely something unique and very customized and really close to my heart. So yeah, don't mind putting in a couple of extra minutes, which actually ended up turning into an extra hour and a half of tour.
Oh, well.
But I would say it's was definitely worth it, and well, the customers left with a completely different impression of what the Douro Valley is all about, and they had a glimpse of a Douro Valley beyond wine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it this
Well,
way.
I about adding a little bit of extra time to the tour. So yesterday I also had 1.5 hour more. And today, well, I kept on with the same guests, but 3 days fully personalized tours, so it was great. And we have Gabriel over here. So, how are you,
Hi
Gabriel?
guys, good evening. Good evening,
Good evening.
everyone.
So, how have you been?
Quite good, quite good. Busy,
Okay.
like you, I guess, like very
Yes.
busy.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
Uh,
warm
I
again here in Yalda, not much as
I
during
did
the heat
I
wave.
did today. I did today the 10th day from 15 in a row. So, yeah, it's been very busy and can't complain. Uh, And just to finish what you were saying, Sergio, last week I had a request of a Douro Valley for non-drinkers, and pretty much that's what I did. So I took my guests
Hmm.
to the Douro Valley, even once again with that situation of being at Porto and the weather looking very weird, and then we got to the valley and the sun was shining. So something
The,
that we've been discussing already
yeah, the sun
for a
always
few
makes an
times.
appearance.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome everybody. Thank you, for joining us over here in another Unplugged Live. And today let's talk a little bit about making the difference, about creating new experiences, different experiences, and to start by making the difference. Today, I'm throwing the ball to Gabriel. Just okay. Good evening, Vitor. Since earlier today, so we crossed paths today in Sintra. But as I was mentioning, throwing the ball to Gabriel. So, what do you have to tell us today?
Well, let's try to make the difference. So today we are starting from southern Portugal. Good evening, everyone. Vitor, I hope more people they join us here, and then of course they're gonna check out what we are talking here about on YouTube or later on our Portugal Unplugged. Well, guys, we created this Portugal Unplugged like 2 hours and a half ago, something like that. And the core of our Unplugged, it's exactly trying to. Are you listening, guys?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Please go
Oh,
ahead.
so Jesus, the silence, it was so absurd that what the hell they gone? No, you
No,
are
no,
there.
no,
Okay,
no.
you are.
It's
This
it's
was
like
just a
Sergi.
test.
It's like Sergi
This
says. Okay,
Mhm.
1 mouth, 2 years. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
exactly. This was just a test to check if you were really listening. So I can
Uh,
hear your breath. Okay, guys. So, the core of our Portugal Unplugged is precisely to try to help people to find alternatives to explore this. This is a buzzword or a buzz expression off the beaten path, the unknown spots, the new experiences, the immersive experiences. And this is what we try to help people through our group Portugal Unplugged, through our podcast here too, in our daily basis work, running tours. But of course, just like we wrote on our presentation for this live session, it doesn't mean that the popular tours or the popular whether they are self-made or guided by professional like us, It doesn't mean they are not important, very beautiful, and maybe they are enough to fill people with this sense of, yeah, Portugal is really a magical spot. Moreover, we are also travelers, so we know exactly what people they want to feel to, what they want to sense, and most of all, because we've been working with this on this field for so many years, we know that everyone is different. So let's be honest. So different strokes for different folks, and this is not just a cliche. This is really a fact. So I decided today it was my idea. My idea today for the topic, it was mine. And I think it's very important for us to highlight what some guys like you, like me, maybe not so much this year, but especially like you've been doing, some other guys too, because we follow so many other guys like Vitor. I've been seeing Vitor running absolutely amazing tours. No wonder you are getting reviews on Vitor, TripAdvisor, whatever, because Vitor, you are doing also a great job as an ambassador to Portugal, and many other guys here. Again, I can mention here Pedro Brantes, absolutely amazing, Johnny Tours, and so many other guys around the country. But many times we see people doing the same tours over and over again. Again, whether they are self-made or guided tours. And I mean, it makes sense because I can give an example. My last 4 tours in 5 out of 5, they were to the same spot. So starting from Albufeira or starting from Vila Moura or starting from Porches, when people they don't stay in Lagos, naturally they want to visit Lagos because Lagos it's one of the most popular spots in the Algarve. When people they stay in Lagos, maybe they want to visit Faro, Albufeira, or Tavira. So this makes sense. So I ended up going 4 times out of 5 to Lagos and Sagres. Actually, today I didn't go to Sagres because my guests they decided to do something else, a bit shorter tour just in Lagos. They were tired, cruise, whatever. But the point is, even when we go to these popular spots, we always try to find something that is slightly different, some kind of a different information, a different spot to visit, different angles. You know, this is amazing. In the past tours, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, I was not even able to park my van and walk with people to Ponta da Piedade, just to give you an example. But today, there's less people. Of course, the school's already started, so now I was able to park my van, and then I walk with people there. And then I remember we took some photos, we walked to the right, to the left, and then I remember, no, just come with me. Let's go walk just 20 meters more. It doesn't look much, but when we get there, the angle is totally different. And this makes the whole difference. Well, but we are professionals, so for us, this is like drinking water. This is our daily basis. We drink water, we eat every day, so we deliver this kind of a small details that's why we are rep tour guides and popular tour guides. But also, I want to mention this. In the past, and when I started 9 years ago, I was actually the trendsetter for many tours, and I mean it. I mean, I remember when I started, there was no one running these private tours with just 1, 2, 3, 4 people. There was some share tours, some small vans, and the big buses, but there was not so many people doing this. And then I remember following the trends, following what people they were telling me. I remember to create different tours. I remember people, okay, they want to see Algarve Seco, Benagil, so I start going there. Actually, now, during the season, I don't go there anymore because it's overcrowded. But I remember, and then I remember, okay, so maybe these people, they are looking more for medieval, not so much the cliffs. Okay, so let's start going to Faro, or Lolé, or Tavira, or Silves. Amazing. So I start doing this, creating these different products. No wonder on Viator, I have products with reviews from 2016. And 6 of them, they have the badge of excellence. Why? Because I already reached a certain number of reviews with a certain average rating, 4.9, 5, 4.9. So I've been doing this for a while. So I created lots of products. I remember also when people, they start asking me, Gabriel, can you just drive us to Lisbon or from Lisbon? Yes, but why not stopping on the way? Why not exploring this? I know some other guys, they were already doing this. But actually, I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try always to upsell, because for me it's also good. I charge a bit more for my time. It makes sense. And then people, they going to enjoy a memorable day instead of just a standard transfer day. So I set this some of these, let's say, these tours. And even recently, I remember here in the Algarve, most people, what they do, the guys from Faro and from Albufeira too. Well, usually they go where? They go to Lagos, Sagres, Carvoeiro, so the popular spots, or Tavira. But then I decided to explore the other spots, like Stoi, the village, Halte, Silvish, it's already popular, but then I decided to do this kind of a blended tour, like, okay, so in just one day, let's check some rural scene, back and off roads, medieval, historical, but also some popular cliffs. So it's very easy to blend Silvish with Farragudo and Carvoeiro, for instance. But I decided to create way more versions of these tours. So nowadays, one of my best sellers is, for instance, Lolé and Faro. But why Lolé and Faro? Well, Lolé in the morning is absolutely amazing. The market, it's very lively. The beautiful old town, quite small, but it's one of the most authentic and beautiful old towns in the Algarve. And Faro, it's really a must-see. I mean, of course, Faro, it's a larger town, but the old town, downtown, the sidewalks, the rooftops, the Rio Formosa Nature Park, the squares, the nooks and crannies, they are absolutely amazing. So it's very easy for me, with the vision and the knowledge I have, to try to set these new trends. Nowadays, for instance, Faro and Tavira, I have also the badge of excellence. But many other tours I can invent it. So the thing is, there's nothing wrong running the same old tours to the same spots. I know some guys, that's what they do for a living. They go to the vineyards over and over again. Or maybe there are some people, they go to Sintra 5 days in a row. It's okay, nothing wrong about that. But it's also very nice to see guys like you, Lionel, in that area. You are really a trendsetter. I've been watching what you're doing, what you've been doing in the past 2-3 years, and you've been creating new products. You go to spots that no one else goes. Even in Sintra, you always try to find different places to go to avoid maybe the crowds, because I also know you don't like the crowds like me, so we also try to help ourselves to enjoy a bit more of our work. But it's okay when people, they really push us to, okay, they want to go to a regulator, right? And you go, okay, we go, no problem. But we always try to tell people that there are alternatives and you're not going to lose something. And let's be honest, many people, they come to Portugal one first time, they check the popular spots, maybe Douro Valley, Sintra, Hobby dos Lagos, and then what's next? They want to come to Portugal again. They go to the same spots? No. So they want to find different spots. So this is when it comes the creators of good memories, the trailblazers, the guys like you. Also you, Sergio, I know you are creating new products. I know you have new ideas for another niche wine tasting. You are an expert in wine. We can also, I can really say you are an expert. So it's very nice to see other guys throughout the country, not just you, not just me, but other guys creating. They are creating these new, let's say, trends. And some of these things, then we all know this is going to happen. Other guys, they look what we are doing, just like I also see what other people they are doing. And when I see good examples, I also, maybe I also take something from there. I don't just follow what others are doing and then I'm going to do exactly the same because I think if they are doing good, I'm going to do well too. It's not that. But, you know, getting ideas from other people, other regions, it's fine. But I have always this this thing in mind. I always want to be, how can we say this? Yeah, a trendsetter, let's say, a forerunner, a pioneer. I don't know, maybe I'm Portuguese. This is in our core. We are so much proud of our history because we were the forerunners, the pioneers who start traveling throughout the new oceans and whatever. So this is what I like to do. And I think I pass this on to people. And maybe that's why my schedule is full, your schedule are so full. And most of all, I think we are happy by doing this. So guys, this was my take about this thing. I think we should highlight what we and other guys, we are doing very well. I think it's very important for people to understand that there are way more to see in Portugal and to experience beyond the popular things like Benagil or Óbidos or whatever. They are all good things. So it's very important for people to know this. And that's why we are running this group and this podcast. I wish we could have more time to be way more present and to share way more, lots of stuff. But yeah, we are busy now. Well, let's see, maybe in winter we can leverage a bit the group. But the core is here, and this is what I want to share with people. People who know me, they know this is who I am. And I just want to make people experience the Portugal at the best way for them, not me. It's never about me, it's about them. But as a local seasonal professional, I know I have some kind of knowledge, and I'm here to help people to find these new versions or these new experiences in the very old Portugal. Guys, well, I think I said it all from my end. Go ahead.
Let me pick on what you just left. Okay, sorry, Sergio.
No worries.
Jesus, I've been talking for a while.
Yeah, let me pick on what you just said, and now you reminded me about something, and I'm just gonna tell a fun fact. As you know, and almost everybody knows. Well, I've been driving the ID bus, the orange van, already for a few months, and I started crossing with a few on the road. Okay, and I'm very happy to see that a few companies are getting them. But you know what's funny, and sometimes I feel a little bit, as someone who set the trends, we easily identify which vehicles are from which month or which ones are newer or old or whatever. And I didn't see yet anyone driving one of these seven-seater models.
Older
than mine,
yeah.
Okay? So there are a few, but I see by the license plate they are all newer than mine. So pretty much I feel a little bit like a pioneer on that side, and it's cool to see that. Okay, my vision was probably right, or at least a few more people ended up understanding the vision I had, they even without knowing each other, we end up seeing that more people are really into this. But the fact is, sometimes it's on the little details that we end up making the difference, and we end up setting the trends. The thing is, a lot of people come to certain places thinking that is the only thing to see. Okay, and when you go to travel blogs or travel articles or whatever, you end up having all the same old same being mentioned, and people ask for must-dos or to-do lists. And traveling with a to-do list, it's like, imagine, in the universe of 1,000 people, okay, if you have like 750 that went to the same places, okay, everybody's going to follow that because you have a majority of people recommending the same places. So way less people there to go outside of the preset itineraries, and what end up being the must-do or the to-do places, whatever, it's because people are following the majority of the opinions they get. But then, as you said, we are here to help. We are here to also understand what people want, and that's why I have that already on my website available without dates open yet, but I'm going to open dates for planning calls. Okay, so people that want to plan their travels, I'm going to help them at least to assess the do's and don'ts, or to understand what they are looking for, to give them some possibilities or some different recommendations from those to-do lists. But then, it's been happening more and more. I'm getting presented with people that give me a list of things that they would like to see and to do, but then they tell me, okay, fill the gaps in between these. Okay, so we would like to see this and this and this, but then what do you recommend more? What do you recommend us to do? And pretty much the last 3 days, I ended up doing customized tours. Just as a side note, Saturday I was back to the Tiles Museum in Lisbon, one of the places I've been recommending everybody. So I haven't been there for a while because I haven't been doing Lisbon city tours. But I was back to the Tiles Museum, and it's so so satisfying to be back to such place that really tells so much about us and about our history. And I was really happy to be there. Yesterday, I did a customized tour with Mafra and the coastal areas around Sintra de Cascais, and today I went to Sintra with one of the crowded places, one of the places that I normally go, and one of the places that most people end up missing. And my guests just loved this this last one. By the way, Queluz National Palace, and pretty much they were kind of wondering, but why isn't everybody here? Okay, there's pretty much no one. We have the place for ourselves. Well, because everybody's following trends. So I truly believe that a lot of people they go to certain places because it's the information that it's available online. So that's why we need really to
they
make
are
the difference
they
and
are
set those
influenced.
trends.
They are
Yeah,
influenced by influencers, travel advisors, because we all know this.
and
There's popular travel advisors. They go to a country, they stay in 3, 4 spots, and they sell the country through the eyes of these 3 or 4 spots,
and
and
they
that's
say
all.
this is what you must do, but they didn't go beyond the corner. Okay, so
They don't know more. They don't even know
keeping
more.
keeping the example of Sintra, there is a place, okay, like 30 meters from the main street that no one goes there, okay, to take a picture. It's 30 meters from the main street, and everybody that have been taking there say, "Oh, this is so cool." So there's a few things like this, and just to finish my thought. I don't know if you saw, but yesterday Pedro Romão also posted that he did something different, dare to be different. In fact, I didn't do that tour because I wasn't available for these dates. So it's one of the returning guests we've been having around, and I wasn't available at all, so I was inquired for that. But he made a great job. Okay, he went to a place that really no other tour guide or tour operator goes, with a castle, with a beautiful church, because it was kind of repeating a trip, in this case, a Lisbon to Porto trip. So he would not go to take the guests that had done that with me with certain places. He would not take them to the same places. They had seen
Yeah,
that
exactly.
already. Okay. So if you are asked to do kind of the same type of transfer tour in between cities, there's a lot more to see. There's a lot more to visit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I immediately told him, well, congratulations. You took them to places that no one goes. You made a great job. Okay. Kind of, well, you've been doing your homework, and I'm happy for that to see a friend just doing the homework and providing different experiences. So this is really what we advocate in here. We also help each other. We also share some knowledge. We also share some tips here and there in between us about places that are interesting. And this is how it should work. So one of the things that I really don't advocate is people kind of isolating themselves, like, oh, I'm the know-it-all and I'm not going to share anything with the others because they're going to ruin my business. So more people who share information, more people that get better service and a better experience. Okay, so this was just my quick thoughts about this. And sorry, Sergio, you still have a few minutes, but I know that you like always to kind of observe, listen,
Oh
and then get
yeah.
back to topics. So now I'm throwing the ball to you.
Sergio is the kind of guy in 2 minutes he can say what we would need 20 minutes to say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys are not leaving me a whole lot of time to say
No,
what I
take your
want,
time. Take your
but I
time,
think
guys.
I can
Yeah.
manage to do it in less than 5 minutes.
No, no rush.
There's actually a couple of interesting things that both of you touched upon, and I want to start off by some comments that you did, Gabriel, regarding the products that you have on TripAdvisor and the things that you have listed over there. Awards are definitely important, yes, but I'm going to give you also my perspective. And to be honest, I don't care about TripAdvisor at all. This is just another different take on it. So both approaches, I would say, are valid. But from the provider perspective, to be honest, I'm not too concerned with TripAdvisor awards because we both know how the TripAdvisor awards work to the providers of tours and experiences. And the Douro Valley has a certain presents certain logistical challenges that are a little bit different
Yeah.
from other wine regions. And one of those, for people who are not aware of, is that TripAdvisor does require you to have your products open and listed with at least 12 hours availability, or a maximum of 12 hours availability before you're able to book it. Can go down to something like booking it in the moment, I believe, in the moment that the experience begins. But the Douro Valley presents this logistical challenge where, for example, I'm going to bed just after this live session, and I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning with a reservation that I didn't plan for. So this is the reason why, even though I'm listed on TripAdvisor, my availability over there is a little bit more limited. I only allow bookings for 24 hours in advance, or more than 24 hours in advance, in order to make the appropriate reservations, so that I can ensure that we will be following the itinerary described on the experience. And for that reason, because I don't have availability of 12 hours or less, I will never qualify for an excellent for a badge for TripAdvisor. But to be honest,
yes.
I don't care.
But then I can share a small trick with you.
Yeah, maybe later. But yeah, to be honest, I'm at the stage where, to be honest, I don't care all that much, because what matters to
Yeah,
me
of
are
course.
actually the customer reviews, and those are actually the important ones. And hearing people say that the tour was amazing, the tour was unique, that they had a great time, that they're going to cherish the memories that they created together for the rest of their lives. I mean, I'm having referrals right now. I'm receiving referrals from people who did tours with me 4, 5, 6 years ago. So this is actually really great to see, that people, after all this time, they remember me. And when they have friends coming over to Portugal, they remember me, and they say, you have to do, if you're going to the Douro Valley tour, you have to book it with Sergio, because it's definitely a very unique experience. And this is what people are looking for. We've been talking over here about unique experiences and being at the forefront of research and innovating, and even places that are somewhat commonplace to visit. There's always different angles, different perspectives that you can approach those places according to the interests of the customer. So the Douro Valley, there's going to be places, tours for non-drinkers, people who don't enjoy wine, people who are going there just for the scenery, people who are interested in the culture. Just today, for example, I hosted a couple, very lovely couple. They were interested in doing a little bit of wine tasting, but because they were staying at the Six Senses, they didn't want to extend the tour all that much, because they also wanted to enjoy the amenities of the hotel. And so we ended up doing a shorter tour that actually ended up being a little bit of a longer tour, because I was telling them about my connection to the valley, the family house that we own at the little village. They asked to do a couple of quick stops for the scenery, and I took them to the road that leads up to the village, which has a couple of nice viewpoints. And they asked me, well, since we're on the road already, do you mind if could you take us all the way up to the village? Because you've been describing it so well that now we actually want to see it. And I ended up taking them to the village over there, seeing the little chapel of the village, show them the famous cork tree that has a few legends associated with it over there at the village as well, and just giving them an overview of where things were located. And then we ended up passing in front of the family house. We even saw one of my father's childhood friends who was just relaxing at the bar over there. So the um, uh, the lady, she actually said something that kind of stuck with me. She said these exact words: "I feel like now I'm getting the authentic Portugal."
Yeah.
So this is it. This was the best compliment, because we did a little bit of a wine tasting tour in the morning, fantastic lunch, but then having her say that this is the authentic Portugal, this is what I was looking for, just made my day. And then afterwards, they confessed to me that they really want to come back. And what they want to do next for the next trip, they want to go to Vila Nova de Foscoa and to see the engravings. They had heard of them. It was one of the few persons who actually had heard about the engravings before getting there, before I told them about it. And they are actually very curious. And they said, well, next time that we're here, we'll definitely lock you up. And then I ended up giving them a couple of recommendations. So instead of staying in this area of the valley, there's actually a very nice hotel. Since you've enjoyed the Six Senses, there's a very nice hotel in the Douro Superior, really close to Vila Nova de Foscoa, really close to the engravings. It's a 20-minute drive to get from there to the engravings. And it's a very nice hotel, very small, from a famous winery, but they will immediately bookmark it for their next trip. So yeah, it's definitely things that people don't talk about, and we have this knowledge, and we can find new ways to approach things. Because I don't know if they were thinking about staying at the Valley for the next time, if they were thinking about staying in Porto, but I just gave them a recommendation. They looked it up online really quickly, and they enjoyed what they saw. So really cool place. So yeah, this is one of the things. So TripAdvisor, improvising tours on the spot according to the customer's preferences as well.
Mhm.
So all of this is important.
Yeah.
Being at the forefront and doing some research, well, I can tell you that I'm also going to do some research. Unfortunately, the research that I want to do, so let me put it this way. I basically brought homework with me today. Um, So yeah, I'm gonna do some homework, but unfortunately, I cannot do this homework uh, in the middle of a busy season with tours and whatnot. So
Yeah.
definitely not recommended to do this kind of homework. But yeah,
No,
this is
no.
what homework looks like to me from time to time. Tasting some wines, getting some notes on how to describe the wines to the customers, see if the place is worth checking out or not, and then include it on one of my tours or not. So for next year. Yeah, Kelly, nice research. Yeah, well, so if we're doing tastings, these bottles are actually good for 7, 8 persons. So maybe who knows, we'll do some research together. But I can invite some people over to do to do some
Just
research with me.
just sorry to interrupt you. Okay, I'm gonna stay overnight at Porto at the end of this week, and for the other weekend,
Ah,
okay, at the end of the month. So I'm gonna spend 2 nights at Porto. So if you need help on that research, well, why not? Okay.
Well, more than happy to have you. But yeah, this is the kind of things that we do. Even last week, for example, I went to a couple of different towns to see the lay of the land, to see how things are going over there in the towns, because this was preparation for a few tours that I'll be developing, and also research for a tour that people have asked me to include. So we want to include this, we want to do this, but our time is limited, and so by working together, we could find a way to make these things work. So I went there on research as well to, well, possibly include this on a tour. For next year, I'm gonna have a new wine tour that it's already basically settled how I'm going to run it. But I'll break the news over here. I'm actually going to have themed transfers between Porto and Lisbon. So 1 day or 2 days. The 2 days is actually becoming quite popular because, well, a lot of people, as you guys know, they have been doing the Lisbon-Porto trip or the Porto-Lisbon trip, always following the same route, which is convenient. I mean, there's nothing wrong with following the A1
mhm,
highway and just visiting a few places along that. But for people who want to see something different instead of going up and down the same and doing the
mhm,
same route. It's actually interesting, and you guys know that I've been advocating the down wine region a lot, and I've been doing, and I will be doing that itinerary over the course of 2 days. Quite a bit more frequently in the coming weeks. In fact, in the span of 1 week, towards the end of the month and in early October, I'll be going down all the way down to the Algarve with 3 different couples. So I'm going down once, I'm going down the second time, and on the return trip of the second time, I'll actually be bringing another couple up from the Algarve, and we'll go. We could do it in 6 hours if we were doing Algarve to Porto direct or vice versa, but we'll be doing it over the course of 2, 3 days. So yeah, that's going to be a wonderful experience, allowing people to have a feel or a different feel of what Portugal is about. So yeah, there's definitely some research and reinventing. Lionel, you were talking about perspectives and moving a little bit to the left, to the right, 30 meters off to a place you're going to see a fantastic view that no one talks about and is completely secluded. I kind of have that same experience as well at the Douro Valley at a couple of locations. Like for example, the viewpoints that I was at today on the road leading up to the village where we have the family house, no one goes there. We had a place for ourselves, and the impressions that I've got from the people that I took there today were like, these are the best views of the valley that you showed us so far. and people don't often realize it. And as we were going higher and higher, we could see more and more of the valley. And that's when people realized how big, how vast the valley actually is. Because yeah, you can go to some of the popular viewpoints, and a couple of names immediately come to mind. São Leonardo da Galafura, for example, it's one of those popular locations. São Salvador do Mundo, it's another one. Even Casal de Loix, for example, those are what we call the top three viewpoints of the Douro Valley. But then there are these little unknowns that because well, people assume that there's not anything in that direction, they don't take those roads, and by not taking those roads, they miss out on a few things. And these are things that we typically include on the tours, and I can tell you the detour that I did to go to the viewpoints, the round trip of the detour was basically 15 minutes, including time for some pictures. And in 15 minutes, we were able to see two viewpoints that no one talks about. No one stops there.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
me with my guests over there, and we had a great time. Fantastic pictures that they took. They absolutely loved it. And that's it. So it can, what we say about innovation, and it means basically just keeping popular places fresh for the new visitors, because
Yeah.
people who visited in the past, they basically had one experience, and maybe the experience that those persons had in the past, it's a little bit different now, because as you mentioned, Gabriel, you went to Benagil and things like that because there was that demand, that lugar seco, and nowadays everyone is going over there, so it's a bit of a different experience with the
Yeah.
crowds and
Yeah.
whatnot. And so
Exactly.
we find these alternatives. It's our
Yeah.
job. It's to basically be at the forefront scouting. Sometimes this involves going to locations, finding different angles, taking different approaches to old locations. Sometimes it means being innovative in the way that we promote ourselves as well. Sustainable eco tours, revivalism tours are also a thing. And well, I'm going to be debuting for next year, themed transfers between Porto and Lisbon, because I feel like everyone is doing the same old, going to the same places, same towns and whatnot, and I feel like there's quite a bit more diversity to explore over there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So we can do themed tours. Like I'm just gonna throw a couple of examples over here. Coastal towns. We can do a themed tour of parks and nature with between the two areas. We can do medieval and medieval history between the two locations as well. So there's a plethora of things to
Yes, there.
explore, and
Yeah.
we can just put together something. But
Yeah.
obviously, it all depends on what people want, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So they have to work with us. In order for
Yeah.
us to provide a good experience, people also have to work with us, tell us what their preferences are, and this all boils down to something that I've always said: traveling is a very personal experience. Even though there's not going to be a one size fits all, you could probably fit 95% of the people with the preferences, but we are looking for the 5%
Yeah.
that are a little bit different, and we can customize it that way. So this is it. Traveling,
And
it's a very unique experience.
Let me just add something to what you've been saying, Sergio. As I mentioned, I finished today 3 days with the customized tours. But the fun fact is, these people are Portuguese living abroad, okay, but they come over the country more than once a year. They spend weeks or sometimes months over here, okay. They are based in central Portugal, but they pretty much stay a little bit all over. And they've been traveling through the country, so they know a lot about the country. Fun fact: they hired me for Lisbon. They are making their way further north, and they have already someone hired in the north as well, to go with them, okay, to explore new places. So the most common thing that I've heard, we would never have got in here. We would never be able to see so much in one day. We would never be able to learn so much about these places. So even for people that kind of know the places, there is a lot to provide. There is a lot to tell. Um, And that's something that always amazes me when I visit monuments and I see locals exploring the monuments. Okay. And I see people that, well, they are really visiting those places. So it's all about exploring certain spots beyond the trends and beyond the must-dos and beyond the must-goes. And more than ever, I've been saying this plenty of times, what I really want, it's people that go home and they tell all their friends, we had a great time in Portugal. Now, did they book a tour with me or not? Of course, I would prefer them to go on tour with me, but if they didn't, what I really want is to have them happy when they go back home, because that will bring more people in here and we will be able to provide a quality experience. The bad publicity spreads very fast, so what we really want is positive experiences, positive insight, and people that are really happy with what they got. So people just need to, well, understand that there's a lot more beyond the corner. There's a lot more beyond the to-do or must-do places, and just dare to be different, dare to challenge. So all of us, each one on its own way, we are doing our part, okay? We are doing our share of it, whether it's by, well, going to a tour more this way, more that way. But this is what we really want. Otherwise, it would be just a routine thing, the same old same. And well, we are really trying to make the difference.
Yeah.
So Gabriel, final
just
thought
to finish,
from you.
just a couple minutes. I think Portugal deserves more. We deserve more, and the visitors deserve more.
Totally
funny. Sergi, you just mentioned about 5% of this niche of people who are looking for this really off the beaten path and whatever. Well, just think, if we have 30 million visitors, still means that 5% still means 1.5 million. I think it's a bit more. So there's a big niche. Actually, we don't care much, I mean, so to speak, we don't care much about all these crowds who are following, it's okay, but still a very nice niche. I was thinking about what you said about the product, TripAdvisor, whatever, and then you use the word spontaneous, and you went for this detour where you found your father, childhood friend or so, and it's so funny because we can't put into products what we call the off the beaten path or the spontaneous things, because I can't say in my product that I'm going to meet the friend of my father or something. This is spontaneous. So when people, they ask me for off the beaten path, or when I advocate for off the beaten path, I don't have this on the listings of TripAdvisor or something, because it doesn't sell there. And even though when I send these messages to people about the off the beaten path, whatever, and then sometimes people ask me, but how is going to be the itinerary? Can you share with us? No, there's no itinerary. You will have to trust me. Trust me, and I'm going to make you feel the real off the beaten path. Otherwise, it's no longer the beaten path. So this is absolutely amazing. And now, just to finish, guys, I just want to answer here my dear friend from Sweden, Laila. It's from, yes, I still remember these beautiful tours. We started at 7 a.m. here. It was tough. We went to Lisbon 14 hours or so, and then we went for another tour. And then 2 years later, we went to Faro, and we went to Tavira, and we got some nice tuna steaks in close to Castro Marim. It was amazing. And I'm glad you've been staying in Faro, because like many times I say here out loud, Faro, it's a very good base to stay, an amazing town. Well, next time, if you listen this, next time just give me a small call, because I always like to get a coffee in my birthplace, and I'll be glad to visit you. Well, guys, it was a very lovely chat once again, and the bad news is it's over, and the good news is we'll be back next Monday. We'll be back on Monday.
Yeah.
So from my end, guys, goodbye, good evening, everyone, and have a good week ahead. And well, let's keep rolling, guys.
Another great time, another great chat. So I just want to thank everybody. Have a good evening, have a good week, and I'll see you back next Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a great evening and a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.